Whoops, forgot to turn the fan off. Hi folks, Dave with DBS Tech Talk. And today we're going to talk about budget in ear. And when I say budget, I mean $10 budget. What can you do with $10? You can go to McDonald's and get a large meal. You can go to KFC and get two $5 value boxes. You can go to Best Buy or Walmart or Big Lots, Dollar General, and get a pair of cheapy in-ears. You can go on Amazon and get a lot of cheap stuff for $10. Speaking of Amazon, you can get these. The Monoprice 9927s with a big old name. Excuse me. Let's see, how are they described? It is the Monoprice Enhanced Bass Hi-Fi Noise Isolating Earbuds Headphones /black. Currently on monoprice.com, they're $7.20 plus shipping. And then on Amazon, they are $10.49 on Prime. Budget. Are you coming straight from the free headphones that you got with your phone, something like the AKG Quad Beats or the Pioneer SE CH BLKs, blah blah, whatever they fall in, or the Samsung ones? All run somewhere in the $10 to $15 range, usually come with a phone. I got the AKG Quad Beats with my LG V10. The Samsungs came with my Samsung Note 4. And the Pioneers I actually didn't get with a phone, but I purchased them for they were $15. Budget. Everybody has a different size budget. Everybody has a different thought process as what his budget is. But basically, budget is how much money do I have to spend and what can I get for value within that, for that dollar amount. If you have, we'll call it $15, because you have to include tax and shipping either on Monoprice or on Amazon, and you're looking for in-ears that do more than just rattle your brain with bass, that actually have clarity, detail, and don't overpower the treble, then you should consider the Monoprice 9927s. Oh sure, they have some issues, like a freaky long down to the split, a really light and kind of janky fabric feel cloth cable, goes to a very small 3.5 millimeter, has an attached cable. They're kind of fat. They have this weird silvery grill thing on the outside that's kind of sharp. You can actually kind of feel it on your fingers. Put them in your ear. They're a little bit big on the nozzle, so if you have small ear holes, it might not fit quite right. You wrap it around your ear, and your split comes way down here, so you're to the bottom of the sternum, at least on me. But they're fairly comfy as long as you're using foams. One problem also, if you're using silicone tips, take a look at this nozzle. It's rather large, and then it's got this big lip. And see that ridge? Well, that catches on the inside of your ear, and it can really do some hurting if you have silicone tips. The other thing is silicone tips don't do justice to the sound of these. Very bright, very sibilant. With silicones, I find foam tips sound a whole lot better. So I recommend either newbie tips or Dakoni tips with this. Another kind of downside to these is you don't really get any isolation from outside noise. For example, if I turn the fan on, here's low. Sounds like there's nothing in my ears. Turn it on high, can hear it loud and clear. There's no real isolation, even with foams, and they are sealed in there. I mean, these things are not coming out of my ears, and they are packed in. It probably maybe blocks 25% of the sound, if I had to guess. Isolation is not very good on these. Okay, there's a lot of negatives for you trying to talk up a $10 budget in-ear. Well, those are the only negatives. And really, an attached cable with a $10 in-ear, yeah, I can live with that. A long split, yeah, I can live with that too. A janky cable, yeah, that's to be expected. All my other little cheapy budget ones have, some of them have even worse cables. So, I can live with all that. Why am I so hyped on these little things? Price. And then sound. Let's go through the other ones real quick. So the AKG quad beats. They have to be EQ'd to sound good. They're clunky and they hurt my ears because they're way too big. And they fall out of my ears because they're way too big. And they sound metallic in the mids. Pioneers, whatever that model number is. I'll try to find them on Amazon, but can't guarantee it. I think they've been discontinued for quite a while on Amazon. I got these several years ago. Bass cannons. Very much bass cannons. And fairly comfy. Not bad. But if you like bass, these are them, but you're not going to get much else as far as clarity in the highs and in the mids. Samsung. These are actually the best of the three. Fit-wise, they're okay, and they're fairly light. The sound is a little bit on the warmer side, but you do miss out on clarity and details. They're present, but they're just not very plentiful and or very clear. All of those were either free or cost more than these. So I put these on after Farsil sent them, and I forgot to mention that. Farsil, thank you for sending in the Monoprice 9927s for a review. Do greatly appreciate that. Put a link down below to Farsil the Wizard's channel if you want to check it out. So I put these on, and I'm thinking $10. Hadn't read a single review. Hadn't really researched these other than to know how much they cost. And to see that they've gotten really good reviews on Amazon. I mean, we're talking 4 stars for 700 and some reviews. And on Monoprice, they get 4 stars for a ridiculous amount of reviews also. So, highly regarded. So I'm like, something's got to be good. But I put them on, and I'm thinking these are going to be just like the other cheapies that I have. Lots of bass, bright treble, and mids that are metallic sounding or way recessed or just grainy and don't sound good. I mean, typical cheap, all about that bass. So I put them on. Turned the first song on my playlist. And within 15 seconds, I knew that these were different. That's how quick these impressed me, was 15 seconds. They're clean and clear and detailed. They're not bright and they're not super bassy. They have a nice balance as far as the tone regarding them. Bass has a nice texture to it. It's not the deepest. It's not the most explosive sounding bass that you're ever going to have. It's not going to rumble your head and shake it. But it is got detail and impact when necessary and called upon by the song. And it plays well with the mix. It doesn't override any of the other mix parts. It's just there. You get enough detail and enough clarity in it. And it's a fun sounding bass. The mids are slightly recessed. They do have a little bit of a hollow sound or a thin sound to them. They're not as full as I would like, and they're not as present as I like. But they don't sound awful. They're not metallic. They're not unnatural sounding. They're just a little recessed for my preference. But they do have a nice natural tone to them, and they have good details within the mids. You do get a little bit of some clarity issues every now and then. We'll discuss that in a moment. And then the treble. The treble's a little rolled off up top. Doesn't sound like it extends out super far. It does have good clarity and good air within it, and it has a nice bright signature to it that brings in details and has an airiness about it, but it's not so bright that it's sibilant or harsh sounding. Now for the issue that I mentioned with clarity, and this goes through the bass, the mids, and the treble. There is these aren't detail cannons. They're not detail kings. But for $10, they do a very good job. I mean, these are the best sounding $10 headphones I've ever heard. And the details are present, and they are portrayed well. But when a song gets busy, in any of the areas, whether it's bass, mids, or treble, sounds can become muddled and jumbled together, and it'll start to kind of merge frequencies together. And so all the guitars will sound like kind of one, and strings will kind of sound like all one. Vocals will kind of blend together, and you won't get the separation between like a bass and a baritone and different tenors or sopranos or altos and things like that. It tends to be a little bit, but it only does it on busier songs. So for the most part, it does a very good job of separating out and isolating out sounds. The soundstage is rather small. It's not a very wide soundstage. But it's not like clamped to your head so everything's inside your head. It does have a little bit of width to it, but it's not the widest sound. But again, we're talking $10 here. Where these really excel, and it just blew my mind, was the imaging within the soundstage. You can place things very well. If it's to the right, it's to the right, and it's right there. I mean, you can get 3 or 4 things on the right side. You can get a guitar, you can get a cello, you can get a flute, and you can get a harmonica. You know, that'd be a weird sounding song, but you could get all of them on the right side. You could have your vocal in the middle, and then you could have your drums on the left. You could have a trumpet and a saxophone. Wow, that would be a really weird song. But anyways, you can have all of that, and you can tell where each one is. But when it does get a little bit on the busy side, just like in the bass, mids, and treble, the soundstage imaging can become a little bit lumped together. And they will kind of compress a little bit and compact together. But for the most part, that's few and far between. I mean, we're talking super busy songs. Like a big orchestral piece, or a lot of bass guitars going on with strings and things like that. Or choirs singing, a lot of people singing with a lot of background music. Those type of busy songs is where these struggle. But if you're just listening to regular old music, no problem. I did not really try these on a desktop setup. For $10, I don't think it really warrants it. These are a portable use. This is for the person that just wants a cheap headphone that they're going on a trip. And if someone happens to see them and grab them while you're not looking, you're out $10. These are, oh man, I pulled on them too hard and the cable broke. I'm out $10. You want something to throw around while you're working out and at the gym, these are it. You want something to just walk around in the office, these are it. These are a portable headphone. This isn't for critical listening. This isn't for the person that wants to be comparing them to $1,000 in-ears. This is a $10 budget in-ear that is well above all other $10 in-ears or free in-ears that you can get. They play well on the Hi-Fi Mega Mini. I found that this pushes it with ease. I was at 50%, which is number 16 on the volume dial because it goes from 1 to 32. I was on 16 and they were loud for me. The Pioneer XDP30R plays them extremely well. Same thing. I was at about 15 on the volume knob, and they go from 1 to 60. So they don't require much power at all. And it plays really well. I did use it on the desktop. Sounds great. But it's overkill. $10 budget. Forget about all those other ones. Just grab these. The Monoprice 9927s. They are a perfect step up from the cheap stuff that you can buy. You want to see what the world of better audio gear, the audiophile world, sounds like. Pick these up. You'll be amazed at what $10 can do. Don't expect to be, an advanced sound GT3 killer or campfire audio killer. These aren't it. But these are very good for what they do for $10. This has been Dave with DBS Tech Talk. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Speaking of next videos, somewhere on the screen is going to be a subscription link. Go ahead and hit that, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll know when the next videos are uploaded. If you really enjoy this channel and you want to help support it, or you want to send in some gear to be reviewed, check out the links down below. Thank you.